Give me a minute, I open it.
Okay. Yeah, so welcome to our today's session. This is week 4 of 5 weeks of Microsoft Excel training on every Friday. So for those who have joined us for the first time, Catherine and Hassan, you are all welcome to this session. We usually have a very productive session of Microsoft Excel on every Friday. So this is challenge 3. We've conducted challenge 1, where we had over 70 participants taking through this challenge. Challenge 2 also took about 30 participants, and now we are finalizing challenge 3. This is 4th week of 5, and then we are going to start challenge 4. So if you are interested in enrolling for challenge 4 so that you can start with us again from scratch, you are free to do so by visiting our website, www.beyonddatastatisticsolutions.com. And then you can click on register, and then there you can go to the free challenge plan. There's where you can get Microsoft Excel challenge on every Friday from 6:15 p.m. to 8:15 p.m. So you are all welcome. So previous week, which was week 3, was about data visualization and dashboard building in Microsoft Excel, of which Nicholas was there. So that's why we were requesting Nicholas to share his screen. We also train other softwares like SPSS, Stata, R, Python, SQL, Power BI, Tableau. We train those data tools at Beyond Data Solutions. So if you are also interested in doing that, you can either ask me at the end of the session on how you can be able to enroll, because we have just the upcoming session, which will start next week on Monday. Upcoming cohorts, which will start by then. Then after that, we'll have another cohort as well. So in case you have any question relating to that, you are free to ask me at the end of the session. So Nicholas, I don't know if you're ready so that you can share your screen. Nicholas, you had asked for an allowance of time to allow you access your laptop. So I don't know if you are ready. So week 3 was about data visualization and dashboard building. So we usually have a recording of after every session. So if you happen to maybe miss one of the sessions, you can as well get the recording from our WhatsApp communities, and then you can be able to follow along. So today we are looking about the basics of financial modeling, but before then, I wanted Nicholas to share his screen so that actually we can learn. We can also be able to see what he was able to achieve, because our sessions are usually 70% participants and 30% the facilitator. So if you are joining us today and you have your laptop, you let us know that you have your laptop. You can use the chat section to let us know that you have your laptop joined with it, and so we can give you an opportunity for you to share your screen, and maybe also tell us what you've been able to achieve in the previous sessions, or in what we are going to cover today. So I think I will be able to proceed until Nicholas, when Nicholas is ready, will let me know. But I think I can now. Yes, Nicholas, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, you can share your screen, please. Evans, also, if you are able to develop your dashboard, please be ready to share your screen so that we can use at least the minimum 5 minutes to do a recap of what we covered last week. Yeah.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see. I think from my side, I can see your screen, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Okay,
this is my dashboard. I was able to create it.
Yes.
I used the data that you sent us.
Yes.
Yeah. And
This is
then
good. I am giving you some flowers. I don't know what Hemstone can give you as well. Hemstone, you've just joined. Can you give your colleague some flowers? This is from the previous session. So can you just maybe check so that we can see if it is interactive or something? Yeah, this is nice.
yeah.
This is nice, Nicholas. I'm happy to see this as a part of the outcomes.
Yeah.
Okay, Hemstone, I don't know if you can hear me. Were you able to develop your dashboard? And maybe out of 5, what can you give Nicholas? Hemstone, if you can hear me, even other colleagues, you can also give some remarks about the dashboard that you see. Yeah, so this is an Excel dashboard that we trained last week. So we gave the data sets and to give participants an ability for them also to develop their own to make it fully functional. So you can as well, Nicholas, a kind of recommendation. You can also look at some other type of charts other types of charts that can be able to be adopted based on the data that you have. Yeah,
Okay.
so you can also consider that as it's a good project. Yeah, you can also consider that to ensure that you have different charts. For example, we may be interested in seeing a line chart on how the cells are progressing over time in the year. You see?
Okay.
So yeah, so you can also consider other charts also. Try to play around with other charts and so on. So Evans, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, what can you recommend about the dashboard that you've just seen?
I think it's just fine.
Yes. And maybe were you able to develop yours?
And my week has been so busy, I didn't manage anything.
Okay, yeah. So you need also to ensure that you come up with yours.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah. Flavian, you've just joined. Were you able to develop your website? Your dashboard, sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can see, and then we can proceed to our today's session. Hemstone.
My screen.
Yeah, we can see your screen. We can see your screen.
Okay.
We can see your screen.
My laptop is slow.
Okay, no problem. We will try to be patient. I think after you, then we will proceed to our today's session.
Okay. Yeah, is mine.
Okay, yeah. So is it interactive?
Yeah. If for example, I tap there, May, you can see.
Yeah.
June.
Yeah, that's good. Yes, yes, that's good. So the good thing is also that the information should be clear. You should hide the buttons on one of the charts there. Hide the feed buttons for the first chart, so that
This
you
one.
can remove. No, the first chart, which sum of units sold. There's a button there, value button and the product buttons. So you right click on those buttons, either of them. You right click on either of them. You right click on either of them, and then you click on hide field buttons.
Why is it refusing?
So you'll just find out the way you did it to others, and then you will be able to handle that. But the best thing is that you should be able. So we have developed an interactive dashboard. You just need to reorganize it well, and then from there you can also be able to see if you can be able to interpret. If you can be able to interpret some of the results that you're getting out of your dashboard.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a good habit, that the dashboard should be clear, and then the dashboard also should communicate without even you explaining. But it's good that you can also try to see what are some of the sales over time.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas will mute you. Thank you. Your mic is on. Okay, thank you so much, Flavia. So this is what we covered in week 3 about dashboard building. So if you missed, you can just go to our YouTube channel, Beyond Data Statistics Solutions, and you can see, you can look there for week 3 for session 1, week 3 for session 2, and also week 3 for session for challenge 3. Not session, week 3 for challenge 1, week 3 challenge 2, and then week 3 challenge 3. So this is challenge 3, and those are some of the outcomes from our participants. So today we are going to cover about financial modeling. So I request Flavian, you can stop sharing now. Thank you so much. Yeah, so today we are going to cover about financial modeling in Excel still. So I'll start by sharing my screen and try to explain what we're going to do today. And then now I'll move to my Microsoft Excel so that we can be able to implement some of the things that you can be able to see here today. Okay, so we are going to consider a case study setup of a business where we can be able to apply financial modeling. So for example, maybe we have something like a business that does delivery. So we have to consider some aspects or some metrics in this business. Things like the price per unit, things like the quantity sold, how many units were sold. That's what we call the quantity sold. And then the total revenue. Total revenue is computed based on the price of each unit multiplied by the units sold. So these are the formula we are going to write in Excel as well to easily calculate whatever we want to calculate. And then we have transport costs. So transport cost, this is the cost that the organization used in order to transport the products that were sold. And then we have item cost per unit, cost at which we were buying the items before we sold them. So, and then we have a total cost. Total cost now is the combination of all the costs from the item cost, multiplying item cost by the quantity. Then we add the transport cost as well. So that now for us to get profit is a difference between the total revenue minus, is actually the difference between total revenue and cost. So which is just total revenue minus total cost. So that's what the case that we are going to use today. And now in the business modeling, we are going to consider in this session, we are going to consider what if analysis. What if analysis in Excel in order to model, to answer questions of what if. But in advanced Microsoft Excel course, we train other aspects of financial modeling in Excel. So in this session, which is our free session, we're going to learn about what if analysis. So what if analysis, I'll now go to Excel. I'll now open my Excel. And then I'll now open my Excel, and then from there, we will be able to now start from that point. So I'll stop sharing so that I can share the entire screen. I had shared a window, so I can share the entire screen so that we can learn together. So let me share the entire screen. Okay, so I'll go to my Excel. So this is Excel, and what we are going to cover is under data. Then you come to forecast. We are trying to forecast sales. We are trying to focus sales, trying to focus what will take us to a particular profit. What is it that can take us to a particular profit? Or what is it that can take us to a particular revenue? You see? So that's what we are going to discuss today. So we are going to consider what if analysis. So we are going to talk about the scenario manager. We're going to talk about the goal seek and the data table. So that having been said, so I'll proceed to the screen that I had shared before so that we can start looking at these aspects. So an example of the things that we're going to use here is these example values here. So for example, we have the price per unit, we have the quantity sold, and then we have the transport cost, and then we have the item cost per unit. And then now from there, we can be able to compute the total revenue, we can be able to compute the total cost, and then we can be able to compute the profit. So we start by creating variables in Excel. So I'll go to my Excel, start by writing those elements. So for example, you can have here price per unit, price per unit, and quantity. You can have here quantity or units sold, or I can just have here price alone, no problem. And then here you can have the transport cost, transport cost. And then I can check the last one, which is item cost, the cost per item cost. So we have price per unit, we have quantity, we have transport cost, we have item cost. So these ones, we have to provide their values. But when we come to the next item, which is about total cost, so total cost is going to be given by, so we will start there. Total cost will be going to be given by. So the reason of why we are going to use formulas in Excel is that when we're doing financial modeling, we need the cells to be able to be flexible, not to be fixed. So they can be, the cells can be able to populate the results. So when we want item cost, we take the item cost. When we want the total cost, we take the item cost, which is this cell that is going to hold the item cost. We multiply by the quantity, how many items were bought. So that is what is going to be the total cost, the total cost of the item. This is the total cost of the item, total cost of the item. We are not talking about the, let me call it total cost of the item. We are not talking about the overall total cost. This is just total cost of the items. Yes, of the items. This is good when we explain it like that. So I'll just maximize this like this. So this is the total costs, total cost of the items, the total cost of the items, not the overall cost of the organization. So that's the first thing we do. And then the next thing, we now compute the total cost. Total cost. Remember, the first cost is about buying item, the cost of buying item. This is the cost of buying an item, and then this is now the total cost of all the items. And then now the overall cost, which will include, which is going to include not items, which is going to include the transport cost, is just what we call the total cost, like that. So you can have it here. We can say equal to. So it's going to be this total cost of buying the items is going to be this plus the cost for the transportation cost of these items. We will add the transportation cost of these items, like that. Then we proceed. I will repeat that part. We proceed to revenue, total revenue. Total revenue is being computed from the total the price per item multiplied by the number of items, which we call price per unit multiplied by the quantity. So it will be equal to, we reference to this cell, multiply by the cell quantity here, like that. We proceed to profit. What will be the profit? Profit is going to be revenue, this cell, minus revenue minus the total cost, this cell. There we go. So now we have all these functions, all these formulas in Excel, so that when we provide the values here, we can be able to automatically fill in the remaining parts. So we have said this total cost of the items is achieved by taking a multiplication between the item per cost. Cost per or the cost of buying at each item, this one, item cost, multiply by how many items were bought. From there, we go to the total cost. Total cost is being computed from this total cost of all the items that were bought plus the transport cost. We get this total cost. Total revenue is being computed by taking the quantity, the price of each item multiplied by the number of items, which is the price per unit multiplied by the quantity. And then the last one, which is profit, is the difference between the revenue, the money that was raised, minus the total cost. We get this. So I want to fill in these values, and then I will paste this in the chat. I think when I post in the chat, it will omit the functions, but of course we will just find out if we already have the same values. So I'll go to, of course it's here as well. You can get some of these functions here. So I will go to, I'll come here. Price per unit is 10. Quantities that were sold is 100. Transport cost is 200. Item per cost, the item cost per unit is 5. So I'll start by filling that details in Excel. So I'll start by here is 10. Price is 10. Quantity, number of items that were bought is 100. You see, is now filling in these things. Transport costs. Transport cost is how much? Transport cost is $200. And then what is the item cost? The item of each item was $5. You see? Now we have full data that we're going to use in this session. We now have full data we are going to use in this session. So ensure that your results, you have these results. Let me just zoom. Yes.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yes.
I was thinking, can we call this price per unit? Okay, this price per unit and item cost are quite confusing.
Okay.
Can you call one the buying price and the other a selling price?
Okay. So we can call this selling price. And then we can call this buying price. Thank you, buying price. Yes. So that is sorted for selling price. This is the selling price, and this is the buying price. Buying price. This is the buying price. So this cost is the cost of buying an item. The cost of buying an item. So the cost of buying an item. So this is a combination of the buying price and the number of items that were bought. That is what this total cost represents. And then we have the final, the last total cost is the overall cost. You can even rename it to overall cost, which will include this cost of buying items and the transport. So from there now, we get the total revenue, which is being computed by taking the product of the number of units that were sold, which is the quantity, multiplying it by the selling price, which gives us 1,000. 100 times 10. So profit is now then computed by getting the difference between the total revenue and the overall cost, which is 300. So let's have that data in. Let's have that data keyed in, and let's see what we can be able to do. So you need to see this clearly. If you are using the same cell referencing like mine, total cost of the items should be equal to B4 times B2. And then when we come to overall costs is B5 plus B3. If we come to total revenue is B1 times B2. If we come to profit, it's B7 minus B6. So maybe up to there, I can just try to confirm if we have that done so that we can now proceed. Just confirm that. So for those who have laptops, can you please confirm so that you can raise your hand? If you have your laptop, you can just raise your hand so that I can know you have your laptop, and we can run through together. Okay, Evans, thank you. Hemston, thank you. If you have your laptop, please raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Flavor. Yeah, thank you. Okay, yeah, so Fadili and Nathaniel, I don't know, but you'll confirm with me if you have your laptops. Okay, so how many have achieved entering that information? If you have achieved, raise your hand so that we can confirm that you have the data. If you have achieved, raise your hand so that we can confirm that you have that information. So let me just try to copy that information. See if it will copy with the function. Can you just raise your hand if you have that information keyed in? This is giving me the result. So you need to ensure that in the chat section, the results you see in the chat section is what you have. Ensure that what you have in the chat section is what you have in your Excel. So he said the first total unit of the total cost of the item is equal to the buying price multiplied by the number of items. Buying price multiplied by the number of items. And then we go to overall cost, which is 700, is given by getting the total, or the total cost of buying each item multiplied by added to Hemstone? I see your hand is up. You can unmute.
I have a question.
Yes, yes.
Remember me on how do we find the total cost?
The total cost, the overall cost or the total cost? Let me check that. Here we are. I think you can see my screen. We have the first total cost of the items, which comprises the buying price. You take this cell, the buying price cell, you multiply by the quantity, the number of items. You get 500, this one. This is how we get the total cost of the items. And then when we talk about the overall cost, now takes this cost plus the transport cost, which gives us 700. So you can just help me confirm that at your end. You can confirm that if you have that. Also, if you've joined us, you need to just confirm that also, that you're also working with that. There is a data in the chat section. I will again paste it. But remember, we have cells that compute from other cells. So, Dickens, you need to confirm that you've joined us, but we have data here in the chat section. But we will proceed and you will also learn along the way on how we went through that. So we created a data set here. Let me share my screen again. I think I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen again so that we can now proceed to in the implementation of this. So I'll share my screen now. So once you have this data, the first data we said you key in the selling price of each item, and then how many items, which we call units. Items. Can just call it items, not units. Let me call it items. So this is the number of items. Number of items sold. Number of items. Number of items. This is the number of items. So we have transport costs. We have buying price. The buying price is this. We have the total cost. So starting here is where we have functions. We use not functions. We use the formulas in Excel. The first formula is multiplication. We multiply to get the total cost of the items. We take the buying price of each item here. Buying price of each item. We multiply it by the number of items. The second one is the overall cost. Overall cost is taking the total cost of the item plus the transport cost. And then the total revenue is now taking the multiplication between the number of items times the selling price of each item, which gives us 1,000, and then we have profit. So from there now we can start doing our what if analysis. That's what we said we are covering today, data, what if analysis. You go to scenario manager. We start with scenario manager. So we start with the scenario manager. So you click on scenario manager, you'll see a dialog box like this one popping up. So you start by creating scenarios. So you click on add for you to start creating a scenario. Once you have data, so you click on add. So the first thing you do, you provide a scenario name. So for example, what is a scenario manager? Scenario manager helps us be able to create different scenarios. We start asking ourselves, what if the price is 15? What if the selling price is 15? What will be our profit? What if the selling price is 20? What will be our profit? You see? What if the selling price is 12 units? what will be our profit, and so on. So remember, the cost will also be affected, the overall cost will be affected, and also the total cost of the items will be, the total cost of the items will not be affected. What will be affected is the overall cost, because transport, let me see, transport is there, overall cost. What will going to be affected is the revenue is going to be affected, because the price is going to change. So anything that will be relying on price is going to be affected, on the selling price. It's going to be affected in this scenario. So let's create our first scenario here. We call it selling price. I just want to call it a name that we can be able to see. Selling price. Selling price. What if selling price is 12? You see, what if selling price is 12? What will be our changing cell? Our changing cell that we want to change. In this case, it is selling price. We are going to change this cell B1. We're going to change cell B1 because it's the one that we are going to give a value of 12. So you ensure you click on scenario manager, and then you come here, you just give here a name. You can give any name, and then here the changing cell, you select selling price. You select selling price. Sorry for that. Sorry for that. So you select selling price. Once you select selling price, everything is going to reflect on that. And then we go to the next thing. The next thing, you click on OK. Once you've done that, you click on OK. You click on OK. So once you click on OK, you can see here the current value is 10. So this 10 is what you change to 12. This 10 is what you change to 12. This 10 is what you change to 12. So when you change 10 to 12, and now you can click on add for you to add another scenario. So you ask yourself again, you have scenario 2. So scenario 2 is going to be selling price 15. What if the selling price is 15? What is it that is going to be the profit? Of course, everything is going to change here because it depends to some things here depend on the price. So what will be the profit? So again, we click on ensure that this one is referencing to cell B1, and then you click on OK here. When you click on OK, it will ask you, do you want to give it? You change here to 15, from 10 to 15. You can have as many what if until you are satisfied, and then you can now click on OK. You click on OK here. So you can see we have now 2 scenarios we have created. We have 2 scenarios here we have created. Scenario 1, scenario 2. So when you want to see the changes here, you just click here on a scenario, and then you ask here, you click on show. Show. What will be our profit? Our profit is going to be 500. When you click on scenario 15, selling price 15, you click on show. What is going to be our profit? 800. And so on and so on. If you want to generate a report of these findings, you click on summary. You click on summary. Click on summary. So you click on summary. So it's going to ask you the result cell. The result cell, you leave it as profit. You see, it's detecting these things. So it's detecting these things. So is profit here. And then you click on OK. It will now generate a new table of summaries. You click on OK like this. It's going to generate for you a new table of summaries. So it's running. So we can just give it some few seconds. It should be able to return to us the scenario table. The scenario table. So I don't know, you can also practice that as mine is also running. You need to practice that so that we can see also what you are going to achieve. So you see mine now is ready. Mine is ready. Yeah. Mine is now ready. Now you can see these are my results. So I will stop sharing and then I will ask there's someone raising the hands up so we can know, and then we can fix that. Yes, Evans.
I was saying, let me share my screen.
Yes, okay.
Then
yes, Evans.
just a minute. Where did you get the scenario?
You go to data tab,
Mhm.
and then you go to forecast.
Forecast.
You'll see what if analysis. Next. Forecast is far away, almost to your far right.
Okay.
So you click on the drop down for what if analysis. You will see their scenario manager. So we have started looking at the scenario manager.
Okay.
So there is where you click on add to start creating scenarios. You give a scenario name. You can give any name. For me, I decided to use selling price, and then I write a scenario name that associates to a particular value that I want to assign it. So you need to add something there that will differentiate it from another scenario.
So
Maybe if it is a value, yeah, if it's a value, which value is that?
300 B8. I put B8.
No, you cannot call it B8. You need to selling price. Scenario name is just any name. You don't have to refer to a cell.
Okay.
It's a name. Yes, it does not really have meaning, but it's good for it to be self-explanatory. So you can, what do you want to change the selling price? What value do you want to change to? What if analysis? What are you asking yourself? Like, what if the selling price is this? So what is that value that you want to ask?
12.
Yeah, 12. So you can leave some space and write 12 there so that you can know that this scenario is for the case where selling price is 12. And then you go to the changing cells. To the changing cells, you click in it, delete everything there that you have, and then reference to cell B1. Reference to cell B1, which means that that cell is the one that contains the selling price. That means that that cell is the one that is containing the selling price. And then you click on OK. You click on OK. Click on OK. When you click on OK, it will now ask you to write the value 12. So you see it is now referencing to the current value. So you write there 12. You put there a value of 12, and then you can click on add, not OK. Click on add. When you click on add, you can add another scenario again. You can compare different scenarios. If you click on OK, you'll just get the results of that particular scenario alone. Yeah, continue, Evans. So you can have like those only two scenarios, but you can add as many scenarios as you want. But for learning, you can just use 2. And now you will see your scenarios there already. So you can click on summary to see the summary, or if you want to see each, you can be clicking on show. If you want to see each, you can be clicking on show. But if you want to tabulate everything, you can click on summary. And then you click on OK. His result cell is profit 90, so is okay. So that's how you do your scenario analysis and you get your summary scenario. So because you changed before you clicked on summary, you clicked on show before you clicked on summary, the first current value will be the last value that you had shown on your table. But if it is from scratch, like you don't click on show, you will get the value for 10, you will get the value of 12, you will get the value for 16. So that's how Scenario Manager works. So I want someone else to present their screen and help us do that for quantity.
Kidogo hapo
What if-
sijaelewa. You said
Yes.
you've said that now if I close this window, will I get the first value that for 10?
Not this window. You have to go back
Uh-huh.
and then do the repeat the process of creating what if analysis. You'll get the existing scenarios. Go to what
Okay.
if analysis, you will get existing scenarios.
Okay.
You see, you have existing scenarios there. So instead of clicking on is on show. So you have
Yes.
first of all to close that, and then change the value to 10. Close that first of all and change the selling price back to 10. It must be to its default. And then now you can now proceed to what if analysis. And then from there, instead of you clicking on ensure that that cell is not active before you go to what if analysis, ensure that you are out of that cell. And then go to what if analysis, and then go to scenario manager. You'll see your existing scenarios that we have created. And now you click on summary without clicking on show. There is where now you can now get your full summary scenario by starting with your current value, which was the price of 10, is telling you that your result was that you will get a profit of 300. And when you change your selling price to 12, you are going to get a profit of 500. When you change your selling price to 16, you are going to get a profit of 900. So that's how scenario manager work, Evans, for the case of price.
Okay.
Yes. So I want someone else to share their screen and present to us on how we do quantity. The same procedure, but for quantity. For example, instead of us changing the price, what if we decide to change the quantity? What if we order more? You see, now you're asking yourself, what if? What if I'm not changing the price? What if I'm ordering more items? What is going to be my profit? Or what if I change profit? I change the selling price from $10 to $12. What is going to be my profit? That's what if analysis is about, scenario manager in that case. So, Hemstone, are you able to share your screen so that if you manage to key in data that we are using?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can share your screen and let's try to go the quantity way. What if we change the quantity and instead of changing the price? Yeah, you can share your screen.
So at first,
Yeah. Yes,
I managed
yes.
to do this one first. Let me show you this one. My first scenario was this.
But Hemstone, your screen is blank. I don't know if it's happening to my end unless you share entire screen. Go with the option of sharing the entire screen.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's now okay.
It's now okay.
Yeah, try to share again. Try to share, but share entire screen. Share entire screen and go to Excel because from my end, I was seeing a blank screen. Yeah, go to Excel now. Yeah, I think that is better.
This is the first.
Okay. Yes.
So
yeah, that was your first scenario. So we want you to go back to the data sheet, the sheet 1 data where you wrote your data.
I think it is here down here. And the
Yeah,
mid-
yeah.
mid-
Just move or hide the sharing. Click on hide. Click on hide. Yeah, click on hide. And then click on shares. There. Okay.
So first
Yeah,
let me
now.
go to what evaluates
Yes,
scenario
yes.
manager. I already had one call. Let me just first remove it first. Then when I add it, when I have to change it, I say the quantity. When I come to here, I put the arrow at B2, cell B2. Then I click OK. Then I change the price from 100 to 150. Then I say OK. Then I also
So,
and as well as
Hemston,
what?
before you proceed, Hemston. So how
Yes.
will you differentiate the first scenario and the second scenario? Because I see your quantity, you can maybe name it, you can click on edit and rename it to quantity 200. At least you can differentiate it from another scenario you're going to create. So click on edit
Quantity 200.
and yeah, call it quantity 200, so that you can actually relate which scenario did you set that value to.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now you can click on OK. You can click on OK. Yeah, you can now proceed, Hemston, with creating another scenario now. Explain. You can talk the way you are talking.
Okay. Okay. Now, second case, we have quantity. The changing cell will come at cell B2. Now click OK. I change it to 200. Yeah, 200 will do. I think to is an option. You can add the third one.
So, Hemston, you already have 200 in the first scenario. Again, you're using the same 200 for another scenario. You have to set different values so that you can monitor. You click on edit. Click on edit for that scenario too. Call it maybe 300 or 400, and then you will change its value to reflect 400 instead of using 200 again.
Okay.
Yes. So you can choose any value. Choose any value for scenario name, and then you will come to change there. Just click on OK, and then you go on edit also. Go to edit before you continue, because I want you to name correctly. Your name
Yes.
should be self-explanatory. We don't want to reach somewhere where we don't know which value did we set, which referencing, which particular value do we set to this scenario. Suppose you have 10 scenarios, and you are calling them, all of them, you are calling them quantity. You see, how will you differentiate one scenario from another? So you need to set that to the value that you just provided. So call it quantity, then the value you gave in that reference.
The 300.
Yeah. Then you can proceed with OK. So there is 300 already. You click on OK. So if you want to add more scenarios and add more scenarios, you can add as many scenarios as you want.
With the name besides.
Yeah.
amount,
And then
with the amount.
from there, you can now click on summary. If you click on show, it will be showing you before the table goes away.
Right.
So summary there, you ensure that it reflects on profit. So profit is what you are key in. You are interested in understanding, what if I order more quantities? What is going to be my profit? So profit is what we are monitoring. And then now you can click on OK. And there now you can see your current value. And then you can see the quantity when it is 200. You can see the quantity when it is 300. So you can add more scenarios as you want. So that is about Scenario Manager. Thank you, Hemston. I think you understand now how it works.
Yeah, I think it now.
Okay, you can stop sharing. Flavor, do you have a question?
Okay, I'm sorry for lagging behind. I can't be able to proceed. I'm finding an error.
Okay, you can share your screen.
Right.
Okay.
Hemston, I'll mute you. I see you have a lot of background. I'm muting you, Hemston. Okay, so there we said you needed to reference, that is the total cost of an item, the total cost. So we said that value should be buying price multiplied by the quantity. So it should be B4 multiplied by B2 or B2 multiplied by B4. So click in that cell, double click in it. Flavian, if you can hear us, I see like your cursor is not moving. I don't know if it's internet or yeah, double click in that cell. Hello, Flavia. Hemston, can you hear this Flavia now, or it's my internet? Evans,
Yes.
can you hear Flavian? Because I think he's sharing his screen, but I can't see his cursor moving.
I can't hear him also.
Oh, okay. So Flavian, I think it's your internet, but we wanted to guide you. I don't know if you can hear us. We wanted to guide you so that you fix your error. I think his internet, yeah. I see it clicked him out. Yeah, so we can proceed. I think he will join back, and yeah, has already joined again. Flavian,
I'm sorry, I had a network interruption.
yes, yeah, you can share your screen, and we are saying that you double click in that cell, you edit that formula. You edit that formula that you have. You have to share your screen. You have to share your screen. Yeah, so we are saying, yeah, we reference that way. You reference the way you had referenced. It's not A, you reference to B. You reference to the cell that will be containing the value, not the cell with the names. The cell that will be containing the values, like that. And then you click on multiplication, and then you reference on that cell next, yeah, like that, Flavian. Yeah. So you do the same for overall costs. You do the same for total revenue, and then you do the same for profit. So overall cost is the total cost plus transport cost. Total cost of an item plus the transport cost. Yeah, that way. Then you got the total revenue, which is the quantity multiplied by the selling price. Quantity multiplied by the selling price. Quantity multiplied by the selling price. And then you go to profit. Profit is given by the total revenue minus the overall cost. So that's how it works. And now when you provide the values for selling price was 10, for quantity was 1,000, for transport cost was 200, and the buying price was 5. Yeah, that way. So from there now, when you can proceed with the scenario manager, and then you can be able to you can be able to proceed well. You can go to data, go to what if analysis, scenario manager, you click on add, and then you create your first scenario. If it is relating to profit, not profit, the price. I see your internet again is back. Yeah, so you can change your scenario manager, your scenario name. You can, if it is price, you can work with the price. For example, price, maybe you reduce the price. Maybe you reduce the price. Price 8 or 9 or 9 price, call price. Before the end of price, the scenario name, add a value to that cell. The value that will be setting it, so that you can know which value did it take. You cannot use 10 again because you already have 10 in your selling price. So you have to have a different scenario like that. And then the changing cell, it should be the cell containing the current selling price. The cell containing the current selling price. So you have to delete anything that is pre-existing. You have to delete anything that is pre-existing, yeah, like that. And then you can click on OK. And click on OK. So you can create as many scenarios as you want, and then there you can change to the value that you are setting, which is 12. You change that to 12, from 10 to 12. It is reflecting the value that is current. So you can make it 12. I don't know if it is internet. I see it's internet or something. Yeah, so you make it 12, you click on OK. So we can now proceed. Flavian, for us now, we will proceed. I think is okay now. We can now proceed to the next thing, another financial modeling approach of using goal-seek. So suppose, let me take this back to my default. So suppose we want to get a profit of 1,000, but we don't know how. We don't know how much should we sell? How much should we sell each item? We want to get a profit of 1,000. How much should we sell each item? So for us to do that, you come to data tab, you come to what if analysis, you come to goal seek. Set cell, which cell are we setting? We are setting this cell profit. To which value? To value 1,000. By changing which cell? By changing the cell for the selling price. Changing the cell for the selling price. So we start by, we set we set cell, we set this cell for the profit. To which value? To a value of 1,000. And by changing which cell? By changing the cell for the selling price. And then you click on OK. You see, you can now see here, you need to sell each item 17 bob for you to get a profit of 1,000. What will be the total revenue? This. What will be the total overall cost? This. What will be the total cost of the items? This. And so on and so on. You can see here even the results. Target value, it has already computed now. Has already computed your scenario. And then you click on OK. So you are done. I will repeat again. Take back to 10. And you go to data tab. You go to what if analysis, goal seek. Which cell do you want to set? We are setting the cell with the profit. To which value? To a value of 2,000. We need a profit of 2,000. How much should we sell our each item? So you click on the cell referencing to the selling price of each item. Then you click on OK. It will run here. It will run here until it achieves the target value, which corresponds to the current value. Now you need to sell each item at 27 bob for you to get a profit of 2,000. You click on OK. So that's how we do goal seek, the goal seek. That's how we do the goal seek. So I want one of us to share their screen and help us achieve the same, but in this manner, you should you should change the number of items. How many items should we sell to get a profit of 1,000? Suppose you are asked, how many items should we sell to get a profit of 1,000? Remember, we have to compute there the cost, you have to compute there everything all together. So I want one of you, I don't know, Catherine, Hemstone, wait. I think Nicholas only shared while he was presenting the previous work. So Nicholas, if you are in the capacity of sharing your screen and help us do that, solve that business scenario. We want to know how many items, how many items should we sell in order to get a profit of 1,000? Nicholas, if you can hear me. Nicholas, if you can hear me. Okay, I will ask Catherine, do you have your laptop?
I have, but I have a setback, so I can't share.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you
Yes.
so much. Nathaniel, do you have your laptop with you? Nathaniel, do you have your laptop with you? Okay. Okay. Thank you, Nathaniel, for that feedback in the chat section. So I will welcome now that Fadili, do you have your laptop? You joined with it in the call?
I'm using a phone.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so I'll allow Hemstone now that you wanted to share. You can proceed, Hemstone, and now share your screen. And let's do the scenario where we want to know how much profit should we, how many items should we sell to get a profit of 1,000? So I suggest that you set okay, yeah, you can proceed, but you can first of all start by resetting everything to default where we were by setting the price to 10. And then is when you can now proceed. Set the price to 10. Just click outside that cell. Click outside that cell. I see change your quantity to 100 so that we can have same starting point. Okay, now you can proceed. I don't know if you can talk because as a data person, you must be a storyteller. You must give us stories.
Okay. Only that I'm in a background which is very noisy, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
It's okay.
yeah, okay.
So, we want to take goal of which you will get a profit of 1,000 by changing the quantity. So we want to check how many quantity must we sell to get a profit of 1,000. We come goal seek. Set that say is to set value to 1,000. Then to which quantity we think now? When you come here, I'll change the what quantity. Let's be true. Let's say okay. But you find that you must sell total of 40 items for you to have that kind of profit, 1,000.
Thank you.
clear?
Thank you so much. Yeah, that is clear. I don't know if someone has a question. Yeah. If you've understood, you can show me by reacting with the claps. If you've understood, you can show me by reacting with claps. Yeah. Thank you, Evans. Catherine has a question. Catherine? Catherine?
I'm okay.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you. I can see that your hand is up. Oh, okay. I thought it's a reaction, not hands up. Okay. It is a reaction of clapping your hands. Okay, thank you, Catherine. And also, I hope it was the case for, I think I saw someone. Yeah, but I think Nicholas. Okay, thank you so much, Hemstone. You can now stop sharing. Yeah, thank you so much. So I think that is well understood. That's well understood. We can now proceed to the last thing for today, and that is going to be data table. That's going to be data table. I think that concept is very well explained. So let's proceed to the last thing, which is about data table. So data table. So data table, let me say I have here price, selling price. It works just like the scenario manager, but let me see, selling price and profit. So when profit is 300, this means that the selling price was what? Selling price was 10. Let me set back everything to default. And then now I'm asking myself, what about 12? What about 14? What about 15? What about 20? What about I sell 20? What is going to be the profit? So the same way, I will also ask the same question to myself, but now in this case, I'll be asking about the number of the quantity. It actually works with like a scenario manager, but you see, you can easily generate without going through a lot of steps. Quantity, how many items? Quantity, number of items. So how many number of items should I sell? Should I sell to get a profit of 10,000 or profit of 300? Sorry. So in this case, we sold 100. So what if I sell 50 items? What is going to be my profit? What if I sell 150 items? What if I sell 200 items? What if I sell 400 items? What is going to be my profit? So that is what data table is. So once we create like this, you just highlight your table like this. You go to data. Excel is very powerful. So you go to data, you go to data table. You go to data table. So our data is arranged in columns. If this data was transposed and being arranged in rows, we could have used row input. Is there a question or someone I can help the person mute? I don't know why someone is unmuted but has no question. Yes, so I can proceed. So I was saying that this data is arranged in columns. So if your data is arranged in rows, that means that you transpose this data to be arranged in rows. You use row input cell. But in this case, you use column input cell. So which cell are we changing? We are changing this cell, selling price. You click on selling price here as the column input cell. You click on selling price and then you click on OK. So it is telling me 300 here because here you have a value of 10. But let me remove this value and select. I'm not supposed to select that 300. I'm supposed to select profit. So I click on data table. The input cell column, the column input cell. I'm going with the sale for the profit. Not, I'm still selecting the profit instead the price instead of selecting the profit. So I go to data table, I go here, I select the profit cell. So when I profit, I don't know what's happening with my Excel. It should be able to automatically compute these things. Let me just stop sharing and share again and see what's wrong with my data table, because I expect my data table to work well. Let me just see. I refresh my Excel and then I reshare. I don't know if someone has tried with theirs. Let me refresh mine and share again. So let me just reshare again and see. I don't know if someone has tried doing the same and what they have achieved. Let me try using these number of items. So I go to data tab, I go to what if analysis, I go to data table, I go to column input cell, I select quantity, I select 100. Still performing the same way. I don't know if someone can share their screen. I don't know if someone who has tried this, and let me know what you have achieved, because it's not supposed to return 300 throughout. So can someone just, who has tried running that, just select, let me just delete this again. Oh, it's reading from a table 888888. It's referencing 8 every time. You just see. I think it's my Excel. Let me stop sharing again and fix this. Let me put it. I think I need to, cannot quit. Okay. Can someone share their screen, please, so that we use your screen? I don't know who is ready. So that we can use your screen. We need to, okay, what you need to do, you need to set, you see that profit, you need to reference it. You need to reference it, not write it. I think that's what, something that's bringing error. Okay, who is this? Who is this? Who is this? This is Evans. Yes. You need to write profit, write selling price. Right? Selling price also. So you need to reference. I just forgot that my sale is not, my profit is not referencing to the profit sale. So that one, you don't type it. You reference to profit value. Reference to profit sale.
Down
Profit
here.
sale in the yes, down there, reference to, type equal to, and then type equal to, and then reference to cell B8. Reference to cell B8, like that. And then press enter. Yeah. So it must reference like that. And then now you put values that you want to test in that. So for 300, the value was 10. You write the other side, Evans. You write the other side, yes. You write there, the price was 10 there. The next one, go to the next cell, write 12, write 13, 15, 20, whatever. So that's how the data table works. So once you put those values, you now select your data range. You select your data range, and then you go to data tab.
How do I select the range?
You select the range. You select the range. How will I tell you to select the range? So for you to select the range, you raise your cursor on cell F5, F5. Raise your cursor on cell F5 and then select, just highlight, like highlight by using, yes, like that, up to that, yes. And then you go to data tab, and then you go to what if analysis. You go to what if analysis, and then you click on the data table. You click on data table, and then you go to column input cell. Column input cell reference to cell B1. Column input cell reference to cell B1. Reference to cell B1. Click on OK. Click on OK. Let me see. You interchanged your interchange your items. Can you interchange those items again? Can you put the profit the other side?
Profit
Put
there.
the profit the other side. The other side. You see the way I had arranged mine? Put profit in front. Yes. Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. No, we said remove that. We said you change everything. You see where those values 10 should be the other side, and then that value 300 should be the other side. No, select the values only, not the profit name as well. Select the values alone. Select 10 values. Leave the profit name there. Copy that and then paste under selling price. Under selling price. Paste there, and then click out that. Can you select that range and then click on clear? Select that range first of all, and you clear it. Right click and clear. Yeah, so write those values the other side, and then for the profit, you reference it under profit. That's 300, you reference it under profit. So the data table must start with what what is the changing value, and then the profit should be on your right. So you put there, you reference to the value 300. Yes, you press enter. Reference to B8. Evans. Yeah, so you can select and then click on data table, and then you click on. You can now proceed.
Then I put here.
Yeah, go to input column input cell, not row input cell, because our data is arranged in columns. And then you reference to cell B1. Reference to cell B1. Like that. And then you click on OK. Yeah, so that's how the data table work. So you ensure that your profit reference, the profit value is referencing, not typed value. That's the first thing you should note. And then the way you arrange your values, the value that are fixed must be on your left, and then the profit that is going to be changing based on the fixed values that you are typing should be on your right for your data table to work properly. So someone else should do that while using quantity, while changing quantities and not the price. So that one helps us to know what profit are we going to get when we sell our products at a particular price. It's just like the scenario manager, but you see now you don't go through a lot of processes of creating different scenarios. I don't know Hemstone or I think Hemstone shared the screen. I think I can share my screen, and I can do that. So that in case of any question from any member, then we can be able to respond to it. So our friend Evans has shown us how we use that on price. So suppose we want to do that for the quantity. We need to compare different scenarios of quantity. How much are we going to make as profit when we sell different quantities? So here we are. So you ensure that here, this one references the profit sale here. And then you ensure that your number of items sold should be on your left-hand side. And then now you select this data range like this. You select data range like this. And then you go to the data tab. You go to what if analysis. You click on data table. And then under, we said for row input cell, that means that this data has been arranged in rows, in row. Like I will show you the row naming, how it is. And then now this data is arranged in columns. This is what we call column arrangement of data. And then you reference to the cell that is going to be changing and for case studies like that. And now you can be able to see different type of profits that you can get with your data. So when you transpose this data, where you can have profit here, something like profit here, and you have here the number of items, then let me say I have here number of items. And then now I have profit here. Then that's what we call use row. You use row. So number of items, this one, if this is 100, this is going to be 300. If this is 50, what is going to be the profit? What if I say that? What's going to be the profit? And then you ask yourself, what if this is 200? What is going to be the profit? And so on and so on. So when you highlight this in this kind, you see this kind, you come to the data tab, what if analysis, goal seek. Of course, this data is still arranged in our data is also still arranged in column. So again, you have to transpose everything for you to reference with row. So I cannot be able to reference here because it would require me also to rearrange everything there in terms of columns. So that's how it works. And you need to be able to test different scenarios to see how everything works. So if it was well, you can reference like this, and then you just click on OK, and then you can be able to populate that. But now the problem is that this data is also arranged in column. So I cannot be able to reference it in this kind of scenario. Yeah, so that is their question. Is there a question from any member? Is there a question from any member? Yes, Evans.
I'm trying to look at the data you are sharing on
Yes.
your Excel.
Yes.
And 100 items gives you a profit of 300 shillings, huh?
Yes.
Or dollars. Eh?
Yes.
How comes 50 items give you a profit of 50? It can give you a profit of, I think, 150. It should.
Yes. Let me just check that. Just check that. B2, B2, B8, B2, 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 B2.
On the table.
Yes.
On the data table.
How is your results?
No, mine haven't done. I'm just looking. I'm just looking
Let me
at
try, let me try to see. Okay. Let me try to see. Yeah, it's 50, my brother. Let me share my screen. It's 50 when even if you just directly when you directly key in the value of 50 under items, you'll still get a value of 50. It's not a matter of, you see, profit depends on removing the costs of items and so on, and the buying price, you see, everything like that. So you see, when you change here the value to 50, it's the same value that we get here. So the data table cannot lie, cannot lie to us. So when we change this to 200, we expect to see 800 here, which is the same case that we have the other side. So it's actually reading from what we have this other end. That's why you see even I change here, everything is changing the other end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you too. So I'll stop sharing and maybe I get some of recommendations from you